اللهم اجعل محياي محيا محمد وآل محمد ومماتي ممات محمد وآل محمد.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for attending tonight's Majlis. I would like to first begin by welcoming Brother Raza Rizvi with a loud salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم أجمعين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. تشنگی مشک و علم والی سکینہ عباس ہے تیرے نام سے منسوب یہ چرچا عباس. کٹ گئے ہاتھ چھدی مشک سکینہ افسوس. تر ہوا خون سے علم نہر پہ آقا افسوس. کیوں نہ ہو نوح کنا ثانی زہرا پاس. راہ تکتی ہے سکینہ در خیمہ پہ کھڑی. تشنہ لب بچی پہ کیسی ہے یہ آفت کی گھڑی. خود کو بہلاتی ہے دے دے کے دلاسا عباس. گر گئی سر سے ردا زینب مضطر کی اٹھو. لاش اٹھتی نہیں شبیر سے اکبر کی اٹھو. آؤ دے دو ذرا سرور کو سہارا عباس. مارتا بالی سکینہ کو بھلا شمر لئیں. تنگ ہو جاتی جو تم ہوتے ستم گر پا زمین. بھاگنے کو بھی نہ ملتا اسے رستا عباس. آگ خیموں میں لگی اہل حرم قید ہوئے. بے کجاوا سوئے زندان لئی لے کے چلے. ثانی زہرا نے हसरत से पुकारा अब्बास। बात खातूने कयामत ना कभी टालेंगी, हश्र की धूप न रेहान पाने देंगी। सिर्फ हल्का सा करेंगे जो इशारा अब्बास। तशनगी मश्को अलम्बाली सकीना अब्बास। पर मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद सलावत अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद।
Thank you, Brother Raza, for that beautiful recitation. Now I would like to welcome Maulana Sayyid Hadi Yasin for his speech with a loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم altogether. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين صلوات على محمد وعلى محمد. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah for this ni'mah and this benefit. We're all together. Another time, another chance in the Majlis of Sayyid al-Shuhada. Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam. May Allah give us tawfiq to always be in the path of our Imam with the barakat of salawat ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. In the past few times that we were together, we started a topic of controlling our emotions, regulating our emotions. One of the most important teachings of Islam, brothers and sisters, is overall, as we mentioned, control over ourselves. In Islamic texts and traditions and a lot of Quran, we see this with the phrase of controlling your hawa ya nafs, your ego, your desires. You be the one who is in charge of you. You be the one who controls you. Do not let anything control you. Do not let the surroundings control you and your behavior. Do not let people's behavior control you. Do not let the incidents of the world control you. For example, if it's a big incident, tragedy, issue, God forbid, in a calamity, don't let that control you and takes you out of the path, make you depressed, anxiety, a lot of things. You be in charge of yourself. If there is a conflict issue, you be the one who can solve that conflicts. That power of, controlling ourselves and finding the best way and opportunity. If someone disrespects you, how do you want to control? How do you want to respond? Do you want to retaliate? Do you want to be the same and respond that way? Or you want to find a way that you say, I controlled myself. Sometimes you see that in the street, for example, or somewhere, that someone disrespects someone, The guy came out, he is strong, he is big, she is able to respond back, but they control themselves. You see that he could do something, she could say something, but they controlled themselves. This is so powerful. This is so dear and valuable in Islam, brothers and sisters. Matter of fact, all Anbiya and Awliya came for that sake, for the sake of this control. Today is the same thing. We see, I'm going to say in overall general, you get my point, inshallah. Certain people come and says, well, we have certain inclination towards something or someone or some people. Well, I can't control myself. I've been this way and that way. We'll say, well, where is the control then? When can I say I need to control myself? Imagine a boy or a girl comes and says, well, I saw someone in the street, he's very attractive, she's very attractive, so I can't control myself. What do you mean you can't control yourself? You need to be able to have this power over yourself that you lower your gaze, do not watch and look at certain things that are. So this is the essence of religion, if I can tell you, is that what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to have is this, to be able to say no to something that is not appropriate. That much power. Some people cannot say no to themselves and no to others. Difference is, do you want to come right now? Yes. Do you want to go out? Yes. Well, he's busy, she's busy with work or school or something. Do you want to go there? Yeah. Why? Because they don't have the power and qudrat to say no to other people or to themselves. These people are weak in personality. These people's will is not strong, and they have issue in their lives to control themselves, to control the surroundings, and to be able to move forward. Islam comes and says, I want you to be able to say no to haram. I want you to be able to control yourselves. And Anbiya came and said the same thing. One of this, for example, let me tell you what, everything that destroy this control and power over yourself, Islam says no to it. I want you to be 100% aware and able to control yourself. It's a very important discussion, inshallah. I need everybody's attention. It's very important. Islam kind of says anything that take you away from being aware of yourself, self-awareness, and controlling yourself, say no to it. Can you give me an example? Yes. Why Islam says, for example, drinking is haram, alcohol is haram. What's wrong with it? No, alcohol, just come on, we're going to drink it, we're going to have fun. Some people say it, What is wrong with drinking alcohol or any intoxicant? The major issue, beside the physical harm and mental issue that caused, and a lot of things that we know, the essence of it is that when someone drinks an alcohol or something intoxicant, what will happen? They cannot have control over themselves. You can control your behavior, your actions, your reactions, your word, the sentences you're going to use. You might do something that later on you will regret it. That's one of the major reasons that it's haram. Someone drinks, get behind the wheel, astaghfirullah. Accident, kills himself, herself, or other innocent people around, right? Drunk driving. Why so important? Why so prevalent? Because you don't have control. You can't even see. This can be pills, that can be drugs, that can be alcohol, anything. Islam prevents. Islam says, I do not want you to do certain things, that you take this consciousness away from yourself, this control over yourself to this level. And if you hang out with certain people or certain things or certain places that you might fall into this issue, this is haram to be there or to hang out with those people. What is the overall? Control yourself. If you go certain time that it's difficult to control yourself, it's haram to be there. For example, it is haram for boys and girls, men and women to be in the same place, non-mahram, to be in one place, private, alone. Why? Come on, I have control over myself. No, because this is a position, coming for prevention, right? This is a position that most difficult, most likely you might lose your control over here. And it's difficult to control yourselves. I will prevent it. You're not supposed to. Oh, I have the power. Why you're disrespecting me? Why would you suspect? You want an example? All right, coronavirus. Go to the hospital. You're so strong, right? You go to work every day, working out to the gym, mashallah. Your beautiful body system, immune system is perfect and amazing. Aren't you strong? You take vitamin C every day. They said you're the strongest man in the whole universe. How about that? Go to the hospital next to the, may Allah inshallah cure them all patients. How about that? Without, all the precautionary actions or the masks. You're strong. He says, no, why should I put myself in risk? That doesn't even make sense. Don't even give this example. No, I'm going to give this example. Why? Because you don't put yourself in that position. Why? Because you see the risk is so high. People don't have majalis here. They're gathering together and in indoor. Why? Because the risk is high. Islam says boys and girls, men and women, non-mahram, they're not supposed to be together in one place. Why? Because we don't want you to lose control over yourself. You see, anything else comes, this is the same thing. I want you to pray, Allah says, because I want you to have control of yourself, your time and everything. Whatever I said so far is an introduction. For the sake of to introduce this topic of tonight and this night, inshallah, another emotion that is so important to control it, and is the most important and the most difficult emotion to control it, that we're going to name it. Last week we talked about fear. Fear is easier to control it. This one that I want to explain and introduce, and I'm lengthening it so you guess, what is the most difficult emotion that you can control it? And the most important one. And Islam talks a lot about this. You need to control it. You need to control it. Do this, do that. Is the topic of what? Anger. Anger. Something that we all experienced it. Something that is not just good. It's not just bad. It can be good as well. Sometimes something that help people to be successful and help people to, fail big time. What happened here is that this topic of anger is an emotion that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I bestow you this ability to become angry for certain time, certain position, certain moments. You need it, by the way. If you don't have it, something is wrong with you. However, make sure you control it. You regulate it so it doesn't go beyond and above what is supposed to be the normal level. What is anger? It's a basic human emotion, right? It's like happiness, like sadness, like anxiety, like stress, anything else. It's just like anger, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to us. That in certain times, certain situation, like fight and flight, right? Or flight and fight, doesn't matter. So in this situation, that you need to do certain things. The emotion comes. Sometimes you react to it with anger. It might be right to the level, to the position, and rightfully using it. It might be wrong. Anger. We're going to explain it why and how we can regulate it. In our Islamic text and books, ayat of Quran or traditions that we have, the topic of anger is being discussed by the name of ghadab, wrath, or ghayz. Similar, different little of difference, but overall, they are under the categories of don'ts, morally don'ts. You need to control your wrath and your anger. Morally, you're not supposed to let it go beyond its level. Don'ts. Under the issues that we need to control it. Quran says, if you decide Salawat ala Muhammad, I'll bring it for you to see. It's our discussion, inshallah, it's our academic discussion. So you will, after this, inshallah, you will have a good idea of, idea of the whole process of anger. If someone asks you about anger psychologically and Islamically, so you have it. Quran says here, Surah Al-Imran, ayah 119. وَإِذَا خَلَوْا غَضُّوا عَلَيْكُمُ الْأَنَامِلَ مِنَ الْغَيْظِ قُلْ مُوتُوا بِغَيْظِكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. And when they are alone, like disbelievers, when they are alone, they bite their fingertips out of rage against you. In front of you, they might not be able to. Why is they? And say, tell them, may you perish in your rage. This is a wrong anger and rage that you have against Ahlul Bayt, against Rasulullah, against Mu'mineen. Surely Allah is all aware of what lies in the hearts. Okay, so here we see that Quran talks about it with ghayth, wrath, and anger. What is so important, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps talking about it in ayat of Quran, That's an important, I think so. If we're gonna go talk about this, let me ask you this question. When was the last time you got angry that you couldn't control yourself? Think about it right now. What situation happened that you got angry? Okay. Do you remember? Is it similar to the past incidents that you got angry, you couldn't control yourself? It's a very important question in psychological path. Is it something that makes you angry before as well? For example, husband and wife, they talk to each other sometimes. You become so angry, God forbid, Is it because someone talked to you about a sensitive topic makes you angry? What's going on? We need to this. Or is your anger a good anger? For example, you see an oppression in the society. Anger can be a positive anger. Someone in the society being oppressed. You stand up for justice. No, it's not supposed to be this way. You go out, you talk, you write down, post something on social media. No, it's not supposed to be this. I advocate this. I protect this. So this is a right anger, right? When was the last time you got angry that was wrong and you couldn't control it? Is it similar to other things or no? Have you thought about the consequences of that anger? Negative anger. The majority of us, when we become angry to this level negative, after that we regret it. I don't know why I became so angry so quickly, so fast. That murderer, that criminal in the prison said, I don't know, for a second I lost my control. I shouldn't have, brought my knife with myself, my God forbidden gun with myself. I lost my control, right? They regret it after that because they have to stay with the consequences of that. Let me tell you some of the consequences of this based on Islam, of wrath and anger not being controlled. Number one, a hadith of Rasulullah Muhammad says that it will cover your aql, does not let the aql and wisdom and brain function properly. And that's correct. And that's scary and it's horrible. Think about those moments that you got angry. It's like someone might describe, oh my God, his blood was like, his eyes were like bloody. You couldn't see anything. He was so angry. I was even scared of his or her behavior. I was scared they do something wrong. Sometimes you might be a father. Everybody's going to run away from him. Can be a mother, can be children, can be siblings. Rasulullah says, ghadab and anger, this wrath not control, will perish and destroy the heart of a wise person. A wise person. Forget about not wise person. Forget about someone who already has issue in life, right? No, forget about that. Even a wise person, this would destroy the what? That. Second, Rasulullah Muhammad said, anger would corrupt iman of the person. The way that vinegar corrupts honey. Remember, this hadith, very short, but very useful. Number one says what? It would destroy aql and wisdom, even for a wise person. Second, it will corrupt iman of someone. Think about it. You don't expect a mu'min, a believer, to become angry the way that they regret later on. Imagine someone becomes so angry, come to the center somewhere, disrespect others. Why did you do that? Stop. A woman should have control over himself, control over herself, right? Second hadith said this. Third hadith said, wrath and anger, subhanAllah, is the key to any evil. is the key. مفتاح كل شر. Miftah is the key. Anger is the key to all evil and shar. That means if you put all the shar in one box, in one room, the key towards this anger. Becomes angry. Why did I give an example? I gave the example of alcohol, intoxicant. Why did I give it? Because with that, the person cannot think properly, right? Lost anger because he's drunk. With the ghadab and anger, similar situation. Why Islam says you need to control it? Because that brings a curtain in front of you, and the reality, you might do certain things that you might regret it later on. We're going very systematic towards this discussion, but this is very important. You might do something that you regret it later on, so control it. Is the key towards any shar. Subhanallah, it's scary, brothers and sisters. And shaitan would come and overcome and control the whole existence of that person when he's or she's angry. And shaitan would force them to do any evil or wrongdoings because of the anger. It is important. Shaitan comes and controls what? Controls the existence. It says the whole wujud of the person. If you became angry sometimes before, you know what I'm talking about. Let me ask another question. Are you an angry person? Do you hear people tell you you're getting angry too fast? You shouldn't get, you get angry very scary, you become very scary, you should. Look what people around you are telling you, your family, your friends. You don't have control over your anger. Do they say that? This is one of those things that is urgent. Immediately you need to work on it. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Sometimes I see children, they're like this, out of control. We're going to talk about it. What is the level and how much is too much and what it is. But sometimes I see children like so angry at parents that they yell at them, shows anger, throw things around. This needs to be controlled, brothers and sisters and parents. Otherwise, you might have a bad results here with this. That's another issue that happens, and what is the key towards any evil, and shaitan controls the person, literally. The other issue that happened, the consequences of this uncontrolled anger. Sometimes you see that people come and says, the aggressiveness of my family members, I can't even spend time with them. It would alienate people around you. It can be friends, it can be family members, it can be co-workers, it can be employee, employer, anyone. People will run away from you. People want to get away from you. It's an issue. People do not want to spend time with an angry person. The other one, it makes the angry people and person to do certain unrighteous, wrong behavior or say wrong words and verbs. You know what I mean? Can't control himself, use all the cursing, I don't know, alphabet names, F, B, C, whatever names, cannot control himself. Doesn't matter in the family, with friends, outside, It makes a person more alienated. And as a result brings what? Brings the anxieties, brings the depressions, brings the loneliness, all these things. The other issues. This isn't, we're going step by step because we're going to talk more about different aspects of it, like the normal level, the non-normal level, how to control anger, and all these things we're going to talk about. And this is very prevalent. Very prevalent because all of us, we deal with it. People around us are dealing with it. We need to talk about it. Even politicians and others nowadays, you see that they're dealing with this issue. Anyhow, another issue that it brings is what? Is a physical problem. Physically, that it damages the person and it causes a lot of issues. With anger comes the higher level of cortisol, right? The stress will comes because when you're angry, you'll be stressed as well, right? It will hurt the blood pressure of the person. It might change the level of the hormones and the energy of the person. You see that someone who becomes angry, or you become angry, you become so tired after that. The wrath comes and goes. The wrath comes like a flood, affects the person and personality, leaves. When the flood comes, what happened? You see, go those cities that they had flood and were flooded, the destructions, massive destructions after that, right? Came, destructs everything, destroyed, and then left. And then you stays there with the consequences of that mass destructions. Now, Bismillah, go fix it. You know how much it costs, how much time you need to spend, how much anger. The majority of ahkam of Islam comes for the sake of one thing: prevention. Control it before you need treatment. Specifically, the topic of anger. You need to control it before it hurts you, it makes you ill, then you need to spend 1,000 times and hours and money to go fix it. So the other thing is what? Is the physical issue that happens. I don't have time to go to the details of physical. Go research, Google it yourself. The physical effects of anger on our body, physically, our mind, our body, our physical. What are the issues? Ya Allah, why you're coming to my private life and you're telling me, should I be angry or not angry, control my anger? Oh, because the whole topic that we talk about is because you need to control yourself. Because I want you to be the sample of the best creature and the best human being. I want people look at you to say, this is the reason that I created human beings. So you become angry like that lion, like that bird, like that animal. Then what's the difference between you and the other creatures? I wanted you to be insan kamil, the most completed human beings. So you want to become angry and yell at others and make people scared, as people are scared of the lion and the tiger and others. So what's the difference between you and others? Well, I thought the difference is that qudrat and power of controlling yourself. So if you want to leave it unleashed, go destroy everything. So what's the point? How can I call you ashraful makhluqat, the best of all creatures? Even if you're praying in the best way, and if you fast every day, you help thousands and thousands poor and homeless people, you go to Hajj every day, doesn't matter. People look at your action and reactions. Just look at him, look at her. Why cannot control themselves? Oh my God, what is it? People are scared of you, afraid of you. That's why. You see, then when we talk about deen, some people think, again, praying, haram and halal. Deen, brothers, I always say that, and I want to remind again, specifically for my community, ICZ. I always say this. Deen is set of rules and regulations to help us live in this world with the best level and best result. Because of that, you're going to have a great other world. Initially, deen is not for akhirah. Initially, deen is for dunya. That's a mistake. When we want to explain deen to children, you pray, mashallah, Allah, the heaven, and then the palace, and then... No, talk about the palace in dunya first. You want to see who have a palace in akhirah? The one who was good in this dunya. Good means what? Means, yes, you pray and you do all that, but you control your anger as well. People are not scared and afraid of you. Yes, this is part of it. SubhanAllah. See? Deen then initially is about what? Is about my dunya. That's why it comes to the details of my life. It talks about what? Control your anger, control your emotions. Don't be so, angry that you can't control yourself. Don't hurt other people. Even if you hurt someone accidentally, it becomes red, you have to pay the expiation. If you do this, it becomes black, you have to pay this much. You have to, you're not supposed to do anything like this. Anger. Details of my life. If someone says, why you're Muslim, you know, don't go religiously answer if you don't want it first. It says, me being Muslim, that means me finding a good lifestyle. What do you mean I'm Muslim or not? Let me ask you, what is your lifestyle, brother or sister? My lifestyle is a lifestyle that I believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He told me as my creator is the best lifestyle. What do you mean lifestyle? That means how am I supposed to control my anger? When and how? As an example that we are talking about it tonight. What else? Patience. When I'm supposed. What are these? These are the basic human emotions. So you mean when we talk about religion, what are we talking about? When we talk about Anbiya and Awliya, we're talking about groups of religious rules for the sake of heaven and hell that we cannot see them? No, brother. No, that's not the first thing we're talking about. I'm talking about Allah is going to tell me how am I supposed to live in this dunya because I don't know how to live in this dunya. You don't know how to? No, no one knows. What do you mean? If we knew, then what are the psychologists doing? What are the sociologists are doing? What are the scholars and scientists are doing? They're getting together, do their best to see what can we do to live in this dunya in a better way. If it was so easy, then why we have all the prisons? Do you see how logically I'm talking? I don't have to write down the books or read the books first to be able to answer it. Deen means this. So then, how about then you have to pray 5 times a day? You have to get away from halal and haram? Yes. How about them? Because they are going to help me and support me to be able to fulfill to be able to control my emotions and live in this dunya better. What do you mean? It's easy, brother. What do you mean? I want to be healthy, right? Yes. Well, go become healthy. How do you become healthy? Sitting down and eating all the time? No. You need to go to the gym. You need to have certain diets. Oh, now I understand what you're saying. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You need to take some prerequisites, do some actions and a'mal in order to reach some goals. You want to be, educated, PhD, engineer? Yes. Go sit down in your house and inshallah you become. No, what do you mean? I need to do certain things. I need to study and then register. 5 times praying, getting away from haram. These are all the prerequisites. You want to be healthy, you need to do this. Wow, I have never looked at them from this angle. Yeah. Yes. So then I need deen. That's what we all say it all the time. Who are we? The prophets are saying 124,000 prophets came to say this. Baba, you need deen. You need it. It's not optional. So you mean to be more religious? What does it mean? To be more religious, that means to try to be more healthy. Wow. So if I don't pray, so that means I'm hurting my health, mental health, my physical health, my spiritual health. Yeah. That means you don't have enough control. Sometimes over yourself. Wow, I've never thought about it from this angle. This is the whole thing. That's why deen is not so complicated to understand. Why deen? You know what? Ayat Quran says, La ikraha fi deen. There's no force in deen. Why? Because it's so easy to understand. It's like you force someone, please come and go eat. Please come and, there is a health situation you need to. You don't force them. They have to understand themselves. Someone who doesn't get it, then, oh, ya Allah, you're gone. Anger is like that. So inshallah, we'll talk more about this. But let me finish with this. On the opposite side of the negative anger is the positive anger. The anger that is attached to Allah's permission. Subhanallah, Ahlul Bayt, Imam Hussein, Abu al-Fadl Abbas, Ahlul Bayt in Karbala, their anger towards the enemies of Allah is not personal necessarily. It's the anger towards what? Towards the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, Hussein, that beautiful, amazing abd of Allah, full of rahmat and mercy for people, he, towards the end of his life, he was trying to guide people. They said Shamr came towards Imam Hussein towards the end of his life to hurt Imam Hussein. Imam says, don't do that. You know who I am. I'm Hussein, son of Zahra, son of Ali, son of Rasulullah. Hussein, towards the last moment of his life, he's trying to guide and help people. It's not that he's against. No, he's against the enemies of Allah. He's against the oppression and issues. Towards the last moment, Hussein on the ground, he's looking around with the corner of his eyes towards the tents and khiyam. He's telling them, oh, until I am alive, do not attack my tents. I'm still alive. One of the moments they said Hussein, he sat down on his knee. He couldn't stand up anymore. The arrows on in his heart. He's towards the end of his life. He sits on his knee telling the enemies of Allah and Ahlul Bayt, I'm still alive. Do not attack the khiyam of my Ahlul Bayt. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdillah wa ala al-arwah allati حلت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بغيت وبغي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر الأهد مني لزيارتكم all together. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. اللهم صل على محمد. في دعاء إن شاء الله. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والناس ومد في عمره الشريف وزينا بطول بقائه وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته يا رحمن الرحيم. ثبت قلوبنا على دينك بحق الحسين hasten in the door of our Imam Mahdi. Ya Allah, give us tawfiq and power to control our desires, our emotions and our anger. Do not let us be angry to the level we can't control ourselves. Help our youth, make them successful in dunya and akhirah. Those who have hajat, give them their hajat. Those who are sick, cure them, and those who passed away, send the thawab and the reward from our gathering to the soul. Rahamallah man yaqra al-Fatihata ma as-salat.
صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. أزور سيدي ومولاي بليلة الجمعة وادري الزكية تزور وياي بليلة الجمعة. أزور سيدي ومولاي بليلة الجمعة وادري الزكية تزور وياي بليلة الجمعة. القبر حسين والراعي العلم قصده القبر حسين والراعي العلم قصده على عتبتهم اقرأ آية السجدة على عتبتهم اقرأ آية السجدة. ما خاب السعى والهم يمد يده ما خاب السعى والهم يمد يده بين الحرمين اشمح لها القعده بين الحرمين اشمح لها القعده. تحس دك الدنيا لقعدتك هاي منزلة ورفعة وادري الزكية تزور وياي بليلة الجمعة. أزور سيدي ومولاي بليلة الجمعة وادري الزكية تزور وياي، بليلة الجمعة شمحلى العمر لو في كربلاء يقضي، كل ما رفت الراية يدق نبضي، كل ما رفت الراية يدق نبضي، بالصحن الحسيني تأدية فرضي، بالصحن الحسيني تأدية فرضي، إذا بالطف موتا يا كبر حظي، ويا حسين أسولف ضيم دنياي، المشتكى يسمعه وادري الزكية تزور وياي، بليلة الجمعة أزور سيدي ومولاي، بليلة الجمعة وادري الزكية تزور وياي، بليلة الجمعة ليلة جمعة واشواق القلب تحدي، باب حسين واقف وقفة مجدي، دعاء الفرج أقرأ ودمعتي بخدي، دعاء الفرج أقرأ ودمعتي بخدي، عسى يكون لوليك يرجع المهدي، عسى يكون لوليك يرجع المهدي، يا ربي طالت غيبته هواي، عجل الطلعة وادري الزكية تزور وياي، بليلة الجمعة أزور سيدي ومولاي، بليلة الجمعة وادري الزكية تزور وياي، بليلة الجمعة. صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. زيارة. السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا حبيب الله، السلام عليك يا خير خلق الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين يا وصي رسول رب العالمين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدتي وسيدة نساء العالمين، السلام على الحسن المجتبى، السلام على الحسين الشهيد، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأئمة من ولدك، السلام عليك يا مولاي يا صاحب الزمان، الأمان الأمان الأمان، سيدي عجل الله فرجك وسهل الله مخرجك، وجعلنا الله من أتباعك وأعوانك والمستشهدين بين لوائك. صلى الله وسلم عليكم سادتي جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. صلوات على محمد وآل محمد.